What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Let's go. We have 7 days left of the year, 7 trading days left of the year. So let's make the most out of it, yeah? You have 7 days to prove to yourself. You're coming in to 2026 different 7 days to decide what kind of person, what kind of trader you want to be, what kind of energy, attitude, discipline. Overall, your resilience and perseverance with these markets. So I think it's the best time to just set the tone to how you want to approach 2026. You're coming in with a new layer of patience, with a new ability to discern. So it's that time. It's that time of the year. I mean, it's now or never, fam. We'll just keeping it real. Might as well kick things off right. So let's dive into things. Let's look at some charts. Let's see what's in store for us today. Now, all right, to kick things off, I'm gonna go a little bit indices route. I'm gonna assume we're gonna have a very, very busy day today. Couple things, right? Couple things going on. Couple things with the Federal Reserve. Looks like they're gonna be injecting some money into the market. That this could be very much a catalyst for a lot of things, actually. But so we have that. Russia here has declared that they will not be attacking EU or NATO. Cool. We have updates between the U.S. and Venezuela constantly now. And then on the crypto side, JP Morgan is exploring crypto trading for institutional clients. So a couple key things happening all around. As you guys know, my approach at this is this is just catalysts, excuses for markets to do what they're already kind of programmed to do anyways. That's cool. And so we'll start by breaking things down through indices. We'll look at some metals. We'll look at oil and majors. And then we'll take a look at some stocks and crypto a little bit later on, more on the trading side, but a bit more on the portfolio side. But anyways, before I dive in here, let me know in the chat, what are you grateful for today? What's the intention for today? What is your intention for this trading session? What do you want to get out of this? What's up, Corey, Patrick, Toby, Harsh, Yvonne, Brandon Rands, Cesar, ¿cómo estás? Buenas tardes. Edgar, Katia, Kanzada, Jonathan, Alfredo, buenas, Sen, Luis, morning, Patrick, Hema, Trader, Mateo, my boy. What's up, Blip? I think that's Isaiah. We got Joe, Seth, Gabriel, Ramiro, Vaughn. Hello, Toby. Market's going to do what it do. There's just more excuses available, so it's a nice opportunity for additional volatility. It's a good risk-reward extender, if you will. Awesome. All right, so let's get in here. And see what it do. Okay. All right. So as you guys can see, just want to pull this up. Today, there's technically no high-impact news. So nothing planned for everyone. And then tomorrow we do have a prelim GDP. I might stream a little early tomorrow for this. Yeah, I might as well. And then Christmas Eve, we have unemployment claims. I'll be up early for this one too. And then I won't stream on Christmas, but the 26th on Friday we'll be live here again. So that's just so you're ready for kind of what to expect here. For the week, I think it'll be good. It'll be a solid one despite Christmas. Like, I don't think that's going to be too much of a deterrent in the market overall. All right, so let's start breaking some things down here. Okay. So, taking a look here with indices. Last week, I wanted to sell. We were live for this one. I wanted to sell Dow, and it missed by just a few points. It was like 648, 638 was the entry right there. And, yeah, anyways, obviously didn't trigger it in, and then it squeezed for, like, the whole day. And then it finally, an hour or two before New York Open, we see it start to crash, which was sad. I was like, oh, I really thought we were going to get in there, but that was not the case. And then everything came back. We had the market open a bit higher, gap up a little bit. But anyways, besides the point, I think with the way that this is moving so far, we pumped 180 points. This market dropped then over 200. So this idea is no more for me. This has already done its thing. The market exchanged sellers to buyers. So that's kind of a wrap right there. Cool. Missed idea, but that's fine. From here, now what do we have going on? So Dow has been very, very, very mellow. Consolidation all throughout London session, Asian session. So just sideways movement. So we have New York highs here, Tokyo highs, London highs. So I would imagine we can see a nice little sweep of this liquidity before things maybe turn around. So looking for sells First possibility, because we like to consider different scenarios just so we're ready overall. So the first possibility would be clearing up kind of this wedge that's forming here. So taking out New York highs, but in order for, at least for me to sell in here, I would need to see a loss of momentum. Like I would need to see the market not only take out the highs, but then see it, come back in, lure in buyers, and then we can see the reversal for a sell-off. So I would need to see something like this for if this is going to be a scenario. This is scenario 1 for shorts on Dow. Scenario 2. So yeah, here's scenario 1. Scenario 2, I still have an open sell idea over here. This is playing out of a slightly higher time frame. We had some sideways movement last Monday, so some liquidity was building up, and then during I think it was a news event, maybe CPI. I don't remember. Let's see what it was last week. Let me go back. Last Tuesday, what did we have? Core retail sales, NFP, right? Okay. So we had this push up here for NFP, and then the market obviously just worked its way down. And so yeah, I was waiting for this over here. There was a little bit of liquidity built up right there too on the smaller time frames that we could look into. So yeah, these are kind of the two scenarios for sells that I see on Dow. And the reason I'm looking at sells for Dow Jones is because NASDAQ and S&P they're bullish. They're super, super bullish. So, I don't want to get in front of that bull. So right over here, I'm into for shorts. So I'll actually share with you guys both scenarios that I see have potential today. So here's one. So here's Dow Jones. All right, today's setups. If you're not in the community, feel free to, join the party. Happy winter solstice, I believe it is as well today. So I am scenario 1. So sell scenario 1. Sell scenario 1. Here. That's looking for something up here. So there it is. And then scenario 2, which we're talking about here, which is playing out of here. It's a possible shakeout. All right, give me a sec. All right, here we go. So we got YM sell scenario 2. Shakeout. Possible shakeout. Obviously, a few things need to happen in order for this to play out. This one's a little bit less likely. But, we see things like this happen all of the time, which is why I'm preparing it for you guys already. And then we did have this last sweep down here before it rallied. But the reason I don't think this is likely to happen, or I'm not likely to take this one right now, is just because if you look at NQ and S&P, these are just absolutely ripping. Absolutely ripping right now. So I don't see myself buying Dow if everything starts to drop. So we'll see. What we do have going on here, if there is any potential for buys with indices here in the today, it would be with either NQ or YM more than likely. Maybe it's taking out the Friday's New York lows, trading into the open. Maybe we get something out of here. We do have here at 6:30 on Friday a nice push down before a continuation. But the downside was there's just a lot of liquidity was built up here. So I'm not really sure if this is going to be, if this is going to play out or anything. So I'm curious to see what happens if we break into this imbalance. Maybe we get a shakeout setup or something. But for now, it's not really the most certain scenario. So that's what I got for indices for now. When I'm looking at majors, right? So looking at the Australian and everything else that comes with it, you know, I'm looking at this here, and I was actually looking for a mitigation on Dow originally here. And this comes back from a couple. Here we go. So this comes back down to a couple. What was it last week? Trading out of, was it? It was NFP, right? So NFP clears the high, comes back down, pulls up. So we're trading right around this area, and we had a big move up before it dropped again. So it's kind of looking for a short here. I thought I might have missed it when this pulled up here. It was like 9 pips or so. This did drop, but it wasn't quite enough. So it looks like we might trade back up into this range again. And I am open to selling Australian. I do want to just take a look at some other ideas first. If you look here, NZD as well has already kind of chopped up in here and rebalanced in the past. So I wasn't necessarily looking to sell NZD either. And then Euro's NFP, it's got a lot more to go. Like Euro's just a lot slower working its way up towards this zone. So, I mean, Australian and Euro are the exact same scenario, but the Euro is nowhere near this. So conservatively, I think it's just a better idea to wait for Euro to make its way all the way up to this zone and then get a sell whenever that is. Instead of just because, AUD maybe is giving a setup now, like, do you need to take that trade now? Not necessarily. I don't think that's the best idea. So let's wait this out. I'm going to share this one again. And this did break below the structure. It came back in, came back down, but it's built up lower lows, right? We had right here specifically the low, and then we've definitely traded below this for quite some time, days. So because of that, I like the bearish structure, and honestly, very much open to trading this, deeper back into this zone. So let's wait this one out, see if we can get a pretty good entry around here. Will it happen today? I don't know. And it doesn't really, I don't need it to, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to happen today. It's just going to happen whenever it happens. All right, so this is 6E, aka Euro USD. And then here is the opportunity. Now looking at this and then taking it, is there a buy scenario anywhere else really? And there's really not. There's this possible shakeout here with pound. Today, we had the market kind of rally from here. It breaks below this, which kind of lowers the probability for this to play out. And then it trades into Thursday's price action. So you did get some reversals out of here. Just kind of depends if this was good enough for a shakeout or not for you. And then how you're measuring the rejection there. But outside of that, right, gold just keeps on pushing. This was another scenario from last Friday or Thursday. Yeah, Friday, I believe. We wanted a potential shakeout out of this, but then the market traded lower and then actually failed to break and make a lower low. So this was then a half. I talked about it on Friday to take this trade as a half R sell, and it got really, really close. We filled in balance. The market then actually dropped for a couple hundred pips, and then it just continued again. So yesterday I did take a short on this. We got a decent rejection, but then this thing just obviously is on a mission. Going crazy. All right. So with the way that this is moving, is there a sell to take right now? Would I short gold? No. And I'm going to actually come back to gold here in a bit. Let me take a look at indices since now they're opening. So let's go dive into this price action first. All right, so Dow explosive off the rip. We're getting exactly what we talked about. Seeing the market, take out all of this liquidity. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. S&P and NQ not moving the same way, of course. Why would they? Why would my life be easy? So Nasdaq first dropped with New York open. So big push down off the first minute, and then now it's starting to rally. And meanwhile, Dow is most definitely rallying right now. So the liquidity capture is in full effect now. Now we wait and see. Is the market going to lose momentum? And then we're able to, work our way in here, get this sort of trade. Some of you might be enticed to sell already. That's not going to be me. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to... I have a limit set here. Oops. I'm actually going to prepare a short from that higher time frame zone for Dow. So you see how we had this zone here. How we talked about there's kind of two sell scenarios. We're to this one there in case we get like a nice little shakeout vibe going on there. And then we had the the zone up top. So let's just say that Australian given that entry. So remember we talked about Australian sells as well. Like I mentioned, I'm going to just wait for Euro to get up there to sell anything. I'd prefer that. But as I was saying, there's this area over here that I'm interested in selling. So I want to get this idea ready just so I don't have to deal with, the lot sizes, the contract sizes, all that good stuff. And I am looking at a sell around 68 or 48, 853. Right over here. So if I were to move this back, this is basically the idea that I had before. Say 855. And then the stop. This thing is crashing now, so. And we're seeing NQ drop really aggressively. All right, so I'm going to set that up here in a second, but I did want to just show you guys how this is now capturing liquidity, moving its way down. That's what Dow is doing. NQ effectively took out the high, right? We had a nice little pump with New York open. And then, it drops. The next minute, it takes the highs. And then the next minute, it takes all of the lows and is aggressively pushing down. So now we have possibly two scenarios. And we're going to wait and see which one is the most bearish. So check this out here. This is good. This is all good stuff that we want to see here. Now, for sells to look really solid, we would want to see the market start to actually trade down here, stay down here for the next 10, 15 minutes at least before we start getting any aggressive pullbacks. So Dow here crumbling. NQ really, really melting. Big difference. Big difference. Nasdaq already is approaching London lows. So let's see if this is going to be sustainable or not. And then we have Dow. So again, I'm gonna just have this ready. So for Dow Jones, we talked about that sell from up here. So I'm gonna go figure out contract situation over here. And so first I'm gonna show you here from last week, kind of what that setup looked like, and then if this is gonna be valid when the market gets over to here anyways. So take a look at this, right? This was NFP. The market clears the high, comes right back down. It tries to get below, chops up sideways for a while, leaves liquidity, and then it finally gets back to leaves liquidity, and then it just crumbles its way down. It just starts to bleed out. So that's why I think sells over here make sense up in this range. We'll say borderline, 48,860, just like right up here. Taking out these highs, 855, 857. I'll say 855 will be safe. And then the stops, 48,911. Okay. And then we can set this up the same way. 48,911. Have that there. All right, so if this was going to be a trade to take here later today, which I don't know if that's going to be the case, but worst case scenario, just so we're ready in the event that that is the case, this is what this trade would look like over here. All right. Now, that's set. That's ready. Cool. I can delete that at any time. Let's go back to the present. We're seeing Dow work its way down very well, starting to fill a lot of this imbalance. Meanwhile, we're seeing NQ still trading very much bearish, and it's now also taken out London low here. This is great. So as long as we can see NQ hold it down here, we're going to get some good, like this can set up really well. But we want to see that first. Dow pushing nicely too. At this point, they're both kind of setting up for what we talked about. For something like this. All right. Now what we need to see is just more bearish demand, and then kind of how the markets work their way up. So I'm going to actually share my thoughts on this NQ sell and add that into our trades. So we want to see something like this, right? We want to just see the market. Actually, that's just gross. We'll do something like this. What we want to get is, we already broke below the 1 minute time frame here, this 1 minute structure. Now we're getting into breaking below like this 5 minute, etc. But what we really want to see is the market actually maintain these lows. If the market can hold it down here, give us an actual bearish structure, then we're good to start selling somewhere over here. So something like this could work, but it needs to hold it. It needs to prove that this isn't just a liquidity capture. If that is going to be the case, then this can become something totally different. This may even become a shakeout setup for a buy again. So that's why we just need a bit more data. So here, NQ, possible sell, wait for bearish demand to confirm this trade. Gotta be patient, my friends. The other side of this is that NQ swept London lows, and then now it's not going to trade down there anymore, and then it wants to just rally. Which is kind of looking like it might be the case. Takes him out. Squeezing. I wouldn't say it's a trade that I want to get in front of. There's just not enough momentum. S&P also could push towards these London lows a bit more. So, yeah, I wouldn't really force it. S&P here during London had a pretty nice sell-off that I don't know if we've really come back to close over here. Huh. So, yeah, S&P had this here. Nice little push down before the market rallied. And then it kind of has a whole bunch of equal lows over here. Really interesting. Where does that leave Dow? All right, Dow playing out very much like we kind of expected it to. Came back down into the structure right before New York open, bouncing right out of here. So it looks like it's picking up a bit more bullish momentum too. Okay. Starting to push up and up and up, while NQ and Dow are in S&P. See, look at this. S&P still going lower. NQ still going lower. Perfect. So NQ, it's giving us more and more evidence that this would be the one to sell. So let's start to actually map that out and see, can we be ready for a NASDAQ short here in the future? Can we be ready for a trade like this? And so you have first, I'm going to go to the 15-second just for y'all. Just for y'all. The market starts to rip from right up here, right down here. So right over here, we start to see the momentum come in again. So it comes up, back down one more time, and then it all comes crashing down. So this is really the short zone. There's a sell zone. Okay. There's kind of two areas for entries that, to me, would make the most sense. And it would be playing out of these, either one of these two levels. The resistance over here. So you have resistance here first. And then you have a little bit of resistance right there. So one of these two zones are going to provide opportunity for a sell. At this point, our stop is pretty small. And the risk reward seems like it could very much be worth it regardless. So I don't necessarily think we need to tighten it even more. I think this is more than enough. So if this was going to be a quality limit order, then let's see, I'm going to go 14 cons. Yeah. Then this could play out here. So here's NAS. Here's NQ. Dow holding structure to the upside better. Look how Dow Jones hasn't even approached the London lows yet. We haven't gotten anywhere near this yet. Not even close. So that just shows you how S&P and NASDAQ have been significantly more bearish. And now we're seeing the market, hold below the previous structure for the last 12, 13 minutes. So unless something drastically changes between how they're both moving, I'm feeling like NQ is going to be the sell. So we shall see. Here is the current structure if you want to throw some fibs on it. This way you can start to see the depth of the retracement. So if you wanted to know that, all right, here's where you have it with NQ. Obviously, very minimal retracement so far. Whereas this drop with Dow is only filling the 1 minute structure. It hasn't even broken the 1 minute time frame. Still bullish over here. If anything, this is, it just mitigated this, and then it's like, all right, cool, let's keep going higher. So yeah, right now, nothing to do there. Just gotta let it ride. So possible shorts already set up here for NQ if that's gonna be our trade, and then what else we have going on? Gold, really not much that I wanted to take over here. Maybe way down here we have mitigation for buys. Hit a nice sell-off Friday during New York session. Clears these lows and then just absolutely rips. So in the future, maybe we have something here. I won't send this out yet. Let's just see what silver also has in mind. Silver's just been squeezing like crazy. But silver has that same exact idea right over here from Friday. So silver could definitely do something similar. Just a matter of kind of seeing how they work their way down to here. I'll have alerts set in case we get here today. I feel like that's not going to happen, but you never know. All right, Dow's still pushing. Dow's still going lower. Okay. And Q just moving sideways. Okay, so here's another possibility. And this would be the Dow, the YM shakeout, where what this has done is this liquidated tons of sellers, and then it activated buy stops, and then it immediately turns around. So then that starts to trigger out buyers, and then it lures in more sellers. From here, this has been moving. This has been building buy orders for the last 8 minutes or so. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that Dow just keeps moving sideways for 10 minutes, maybe longer, another 10. And then suddenly NASDAQ just gets way more bullish momentum. Then I would be open to actually selling Dow. But so only if NQ starts to absolutely rip and Dow is just chilling, then the price action kind of flipped on what has more momentum. And I think that might be happening right now. NQ now is starting to push higher, about to break this 38.2, while Dow is a little bit slower. It's not pulling back to that same aggression yet. So look at this. NQ now 50% pullback. Dow still below the 38.2. Okay. So that means that I may have to end up deleting this limit on NASDAQ and be ready to take a short with Dow. And I'm not sure where it's going to play out of. I know I can sweep this liquidity and trade into here. Is it going to trade up into this range is the question. Are we going to get back around this order block? That's really the question here. Look, this is still not even at a 38.2 with Dow. All right, NQ coming back. So I'm not going to delete anything yet because, we just don't really know how this is going to play out. But I'm just staying mindful to the price action, to the way this is setting up. So what I want to know and what I want to have here is a couple different things. So the market filled the imbalance. Actually, let me look at this on YM. Whenever you're ready, pal. All right, so look at how we kind of missed the order block here. I feel like we could play out it right there. 48,873. That would be a good enough entry for me. All right, so let's say that's the case. All right, so I'm just preparing for different scenarios. Stop loss right there. And then let's just say we targeted the lows, and that's it. Honestly, this already played out of this, so it probably would go lower, but just for the sake of this quick situation. Then this is what this would look like. So now I'm ready for different ideas. Just in case. I just have to delete the order. Right now, NQ retracing at a 38.2. Dow building up actually at a much lower level. So now, for me, it looks like I would want to short Dow for a shakeout instead of the NQ mitigation. Look at how much faster Nasdaq's starting to pull up. And Dow's chilling. Look at this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to NQ. I'm going to delete my limit. I remember it's 14 contracts, so for just in case this thing changes again, which is possible. Markets are crazy. Then now I know. All right, cool. 14 cons at 25,777. And again, only reason I'm now switching my bias is because it seems like the bears picked up a lot more momentum with Dow. It didn't look like that initially, but now it's looking like it's very much chilling over here. This is just accumulating retail buyers, which I believe they're going to go into profit. The only downside that I have with this trade is that the only downside that could be with this trade is that it just misses it. It could just miss. So let's say it doesn't get to here and it wants to just trade out of here. So I'm going to keep in mind a couple things. So for example, let's say if Nasdaq just takes out these highs over here. Right now we're seeing NQ trading off of the 50%, but let's say this just keeps going higher and higher and higher. So let's say it takes out these highs and it just gets 25,800 plus. At that moment, I would want to be mindful of, okay, so where is Dow? We have NQ, let's say, taking out these highs. If Dow is, a lot lower, then I might market execute lower if the risk reward would still be worth it. So to give you the visualization of that, imagine Dow does something like this, which would be clearing out sellers again. So let's just say NQ were to do this. If it were to do something like this, and then maybe it reverses or something afterwards, but it doesn't even matter. It's just that it takes out the high. I want to be mindful of where is Dow in that moment. So if NQ is like way above the high and Dow is like trading out of this order block here, then I could be open to taking that. I would just have to reevaluate the risk reward. So hypothetically, this trade would turn into something like this. Let's say it would do something like that. Would something like this still be worth it? Well, we'd be at a 2R potential, and yeah, it could still be worth it. All right. So Dow starting to push along, still under a 38.2 pullback. NQ now at a 61.8 retracement. So I'm not selling Nasdaq. No estoy vendiendo Nasdaq. Me quedo fuera de esta idea. Está muy alcista. All right, so I'm going to just delete the box just to remove confusion overall. If I'm ever going to take a trade, you're going to see it. Like, you're going to see it executed here live. You're going to see it open on, a ton of accounts all at once. Like, that's it. So no confusion. So we're now retracing almost basically at a 70%, while Dow here is chilling. It's not pushing the same way, right? We have it sitting here at not even a 38.2. So this is just so you can tell what has more momentum. I feel like I'm going to end up having to take a short a little bit earlier than I would have wanted to, maybe like in here. And then it's a bigger stop. And then from here, worst case, let's see, where is this? And then I'll take it below these New York lows. Or to the New York lows. So if this would be the case, which hopefully it's not, then we can get a better entry. Better risk reward, but you just never know. So if this is the case, then I'm ready for it. And Q stalling at the 618. Dow starting to push up a little bit more. All right. What are we going to get? What are we going to do? A little liquidity grab right now. Real quick. And Q playing out of the open of this zone originally. Oh, almost off the open. All right. Market starting to rally again. NQ past that 618. Dow still under the 38.2 pullback. Obviously, patience, guys. Wait for the market to get to exactly where we need it to. Confirm what we need. At this point, so what is confirmed? For Dow, the confirmation is very clear. Here's what we got so far. We saw step one. So you guys actually saw me basically show you exactly what was going to happen. We had the market trading bullish since the open. We had liquidity get swept from New York highs, Tokyo highs, and London highs, which was predicted before the session even started. Before this candle popped up, I drew this out for you guys. And the loss of all that momentum. So we saw it sweep liquidity. This eliminates retail sellers, entices retail buyers, and then when it comes back down, right, starts to liquidate some retail buyers, and then starts to actually add a little bit more. So this is now incentivizing break and retest traders into the market for Dow Jones. Great. And at this point in time, tons of buys are just joining the party. Tons of buys are joining the party. Their stops are below this and below all of this. Great. So once the market is in enough profit and it triggers even more buys, then we can see a reversal of that. That's what I'm expecting. So this at this point is basically just it's baiting in all of the retail buyers so that there's enough buys and there's enough stops so that sells can come in and just cash out. So this is like a textbook shakeout setup for me. And the confirmation, the extra confirmation on where I should get in, whether it's up here in this higher zone or if it's going to be a little bit lower, is actually going to be based on how NASDAQ trades. If NASDAQ clears these highs, I want to be aware of where Dow is at the time. Because NASDAQ taking out these highs, this would liquidate sellers again, and that would create more liquidity, more money for the market to reverse. So let's see. Let me check out the chat. I have a buy area off of a institutional candle 48,240. 48,240. That's Dow. $48,240. Oh, did you start marking it up like all the way up here? This move over here? I have an entry lower, but I think I see your zone. This could be it. It's just whenever I just want to know kind of where Nasdaq's at if we get to like these areas, but I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. NQ, I see you're starting to sell off. Interesting. Okay. So NQ starts to pick up. Obviously came back into the zone here. Where it kicked off, came back down, and then now it's dropping down to the zones again. Okay, here's another idea, though. Crazy idea. But we see a NQ sell-off, right? We see it actually start to drop off from like over here. And then the market quickly turns around and is trading up here. So could there be a NQ buy idea? Right? What do we see? The market takes out London lows, quickly leaves that area. Right? So we see NQ take out London lows, comes back up. It's been trading up here for, let's see, after the lows, the market takes about 20 minutes to work its way all the way over to here. So does the market trade back into this imbalance and then make a move? What do you guys think? Nasdaq clears liquidity. Works its way up. Is there enough demand up here to prove that buys would make sense for NQ? What do y'all think? Now the retracement is between the 38 and 50% for Nasdaq. Dow still below 38.2. Res lagging. ES. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. You got a good point. ES is kind of like in between, huh? Doesn't know what it wants to be. And S&P hasn't taken out London lows or anything. It's a good point. That's a good point. Don't know if I want to get in the way of all this. At this point, too, we haven't seen Nasdaq mitigate. So like I mentioned maybe 10, 15 minutes ago, this could definitely change. What's up? What's up, Vinny? In favor of the buys, goes with the trend and clears buy side liquidity. Cool. On what? So I'm with the idea that I like the short on. I could go either way right now. It's kind of just gonna depend on what more we get. Like right now, I'm open. I'm not really married to any bias overall. I'm just open to really anything. The truth is that S&P still hasn't traded down towards London lows, if not below or mitigating this zone. So we can definitely go lower. And Q, it did work its way up into this area. It didn't close out the buy, so that smart money buy that opened up here hasn't quite closed that out yet. So let's see. Euro USD getting closer? Oh, nice. All right, let me just roll through here, say what up. What's good, everybody? Oh, Nance in the chat. Hi. Henry, que lo que, bro? Grateful. Got my time back. Let's go. Morning. When do you take holiday, bro? Take some time off sometimes. I mean, we do. We always have time off. Got the same short up there. Sick. Nah, gold, nothing really there for gold. Happy birthday, Becca. Y'all have a good one. I missed the super nat mitigation sell-off. I haven't even looked at it. What Nas become the bull and we get Dow shakeout instead. Watch. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. On YM. Yep. All right, Euro USD. We can go check it out. If NQ takes the low but comes back up into range, would that change anything for you here? If NQ takes the low but comes back up into range. Let's see. All right, so this would have been this is what I would have taken if I had full confirmation on the NQ shakeout. So since there was little demand here, if I was really convicted on this, I would have taken the buy like basically right there. There's some red flags though with S&P. So I'm okay with missing out on it. I feel like it's going to play out, to be honest, but I'm at peace with that. Like I don't really need that to be a trade per se. So yeah, in this imbalance, this is exactly where we're looking for the buys, like literally right there. It still seems like Dow wants to, this is just like loading up buyers. Oh my God. Buyers, sellers, both sides. So I'm still open for the sell on Dow for now. Anyone take the NQ buy? If you did take NASDAQ buys in this imbalance right there for the shakeout, I would at least tighten up that stop. Tighten up, break even. That's a pretty good rejection. But that's just what I would do. But like I said, I see vulnerabilities with the trade, so it's not an A+ setup for me. S&P just has motive to go lower. We got all this over here. We shall see. We shall see. All right, so in the meantime, I know we were looking at Euro. Someone said Euro is getting closer. So let's go check in. Oh, yeah, you're right. Euro is pretty close. All right. Momentum pushing over here. Corey, you said you still like NQ? For what? The buy? The sell? So let's say, and let me just give you guys some context. Let's say that now Dow starts going crazy. Dow starts to rip, right? Let's say this thing just starts to rip and it gets up here first. So if Dow now starts taking the lead, and then Q is moving up slower, then I would short Nasdaq. So we shall see. Because now it kind of looks like Dow is going to push. So let's say we might see Dow start pushing past the 38 to the 50% pullback. And then if Nasdaq is just chilling, cool, green light. Sells are back on NQ if that's the case. So now we wait and see. All right, so going into Euro, we had the huge push post NFP here. So this was New York Open. Takes the highs and then just bleeds out. So definitely looking for shorts in this range. This is the exact idea that I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually set up Euro. I'm going to set this trade up here. This I'm cool with as a limit. Just going to double check one more time. CAD futures chart looking upwards to there. Pound is pushing higher. We had that Australian zone as well. So it's already trading up here. Australian is wanting to kind of lose momentum while Euro is still pushing. But if the dollar's only going to lose more strength and this is going to push higher, then I don't think Australian would play out. So I'm going to stay away from that Australian idea. And I'm going to set this limit here. Nah, we're going to go 3 units. Yes, I'm fine with that. Okay. All right, so that's set. Cool. Euro, set in stone. All right, what are indices doing here? NQ pushed lower, even lower. All right, perfect. S&P starting to make equal lows. And then Dow chilling in the structure. Big chilling. Okay, the game basically has been reset. Now we're back at kind of either or. Can be a player for that sell up here later on. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up this short again. Over here. Bless you. Just in case this one's good. Okay. It can go either way now. The game's been reset, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, where did Dow just go? So Dow just cracked below some liquidity that it had here into this little imbalance. Okay. Not quite into this London sell-off, but all right, that's cool. NQ pretty close to that 0%, just like to the low. Same as Dow. Okay. All right. Just leave it there. Just got to let it chill. Euro doing its thing. Mara, you just asked, was there a shakeout set up on 6J on the 5-minute? For a buy? Is that what you're asking? For a sell? For what? Might have to wait and see what structure gives us after taking the low. Yeah. It hit my limit but didn't get you in. There might have been not enough orders on the other side. What do you think about oil shorts for at 58.49? I could take a look at that. Was going to hop in lower pullback. Yes, to buy. For a sell. Not necessarily. I mean, you had This right here, like Friday's New York session, comes up. It works its way down, so it trades lower up until Tokyo. And then it looks like here it mitigates. So you see the exchange from buyers to sellers. So, this is like it broke structure. So this would have been a mitigation. And then you see the continuation here. So the buys turn into sells. Right now, I would say there's not like a trade to take right now. I have a sell way, 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 way up here, though. Indices playing hard to get so far. They're chilling. Majors are seemingly no rush per se. That's cool. All right. Joe, let me check that out, Joe. Let me look at oil for you. What'd you say? 58 something? 58. 49. It's approaching if that is the case. Okay, I see what you see. All right, so you have this outlook. Okay. So we have a couple things, right? We have a huge push up here closer to towards 60. Like over here we got some business over here. So you see this huge liquidity sweep before the market squeezes and then eventually reverses. Something over here at some point, I think, is likely. All right, so here's a zone. Let me come back to this. Let me just make sure I have alerts here. If the market starts to rip, I want to make sure I'm ready. All right, so check us out. Check us out. So look at this. Dow now is starting to rip. Dow's going to that 50%. It's starting to really push. And Q is big chilling. So what does that mean for me? That means that I don't want to have this here, at least for right now. It looks like Dow is starting to push higher. So if Dow keeps going to this range, up to this zone, I don't want to get caught up in selling the bull. Not the fastest bull. I want to trade the slowest bull. So look at how NASDAQ is way down here, but Dow is way up here. At least as of right now. There we go. At least as of right now, I would prefer not to sell this. So I'm going to delete this since it's already closer. I can always, put that back. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and remove this. Don't want it to activate by accident when I don't intend to trade it. Okay. I'll set an alert if we start to kind of get even up closer. Now, oil. So you were talking about not selling out of here somewhere, but you see the push to the upside before the reversal. And I see it too. So you have a move right here. It's actually getting pretty close. And the market drops off. So let's go get a bit more detail with this idea. You had some resistance here, some more over here. The market trades in, drops, and then goes up one more time. So let's use the replay tool to just to get a little bit more detail, get to the smaller time frames. So we see the market pump up into here, drops off again, then picks up momentum one more time before the market really, really starts to go. So yeah, right here, the market starts to take out liquidity, equal highs, and just keeps going before it reverses back around. So I definitely, I like the idea of selling maybe 58, 52 or something. So let's go 15. Now let's bring it back to the present. Say maybe the 30-minute. We can get a good look at this. Okay, so here we've had resistance, look, support, resistance. So selling out of this zone makes sense. Yeah. 58.43, 58.40, like right in this area. You can kind of see how price has loved just rejecting right through here constantly. So like right around there. That looks like a good place for shorts. What was your exact price? You said 58.49. Yeah. So yeah, basically I see it. I see you. I like the short. I don't know if I would have a huge take profit. I would probably keep it relatively conservative. Maybe even your stop in here might be okay, since this is pretty efficient if you wanted to tighten up a stop. And then maybe just trading it back into structure and imbalance would be good. Something like this. This could look good. About a 3R. If you tighten your stop a little bit, you could even tighten it a little bit right there. Even if you wanted to not go to this one, but just even right here, that would put you past the 3R. And if you take a little bit higher, which is what your zone is, then it would look even better. So good stuff. Let me, I'll go ahead and I'll add this one. I like the idea. Yeah. Manage that trade accordingly. We have, so oil. And there's multiple setups here, but this is the closest one. Good looks, Joe. All right. NASDAQ structure looks good on the 1 minute. Obviously, bearish. We have Dow that's been way more bullish in this recent price action. So here's where we're at right now. Trading right around the 38.2 for Dow. YM and Q trading below all of this right now. Below the 38.2. So at this point, I would definitely prefer to sell NASDAQ. And so what I'll do here is I'll set up my short on oil as well. So actively, I have pendings on oil, euro, and NQ. And this oil short is right here. $58. What is this? 80? All right. Perfect. Yeah, there we go. All right. And then this we can extend to like right there. Perfect. All right. And Q starting to push. Dow breaking above 50% pullback now towards 618. And Q not even at a 38.2 yet. All right. Solid. So quick recap, right? Let's go over what's pending. What the idea that's most likely to happen first would be NQ short, in my opinion. So this is the first idea that I think has a good probability of playing out. Over here. TP right there. That puts this take profit at a 3.43. Okay, so that's one idea. NQ. YM currently has been demoted since it's starting to push bullish a little bit faster. Obviously, still this could change as much as annoying as that can be sometimes. But all right, NQ for a short. Fantastic. From there, the other idea that I have on the radar is the Euro short. The Euro short is from 1.18415. It is a 15 pip stop here. And then looking to trade this just back into the imbalance, which would be a little over a 3.63R or 5R, something like that. And then, so that's another one pending. Could happen today, could happen tomorrow. Not sure. That's ready, basically. Third idea is with oil. This one I could see happening today as well. So I'd say NASDAQ, oil, euro. We're looking at indices, majors, and then energy. Metals, not a focus right now. I don't see anything unless something's happened in the last whatever amount of time. That would be the only thing if like literally in the last, 15 minutes or so. So, yeah. For now, not selling YM. And now I'll be choosing NQ. Los que están aquí en español, he cambiado otra vez la perspectiva ya que tenemos diferente información y estoy buscando ventas con Nasdaq y no con Dow Jones, pero con Nasdaq estoy buscando la venta. All right, what's good, chat? I'm in NQ, by the way. Stops almost at break even. For what? A buy? Mike, you're a goat. I can't lie. Sick. Yeah, Dow sells canceled. Streams lagging. Seen as I'm out. Yeah, Dow. I canceled Dow. I'm more focused on NQ. Uh-huh. Yeah, make sure you're live. I'll just put it in the chat. Oh my god, that was loud. All right. Who is that? Palos Lapajo. I don't know the name of that. Question. I don't know if you talked about this, but what do you think about trading during the holidays? Do you treat like any other day, or do you prefer to stay out of the markets? Nah, I usually don't trade. I usually don't trade. Like Christmas Day, I'm not gonna trade anything. Christmas Eve, I'll be up early, anyways. So I might trade. I might not. I'll play it out. I'll play it by ear. I feel like, so I think it's all about how you approach it. So look at this. YM already way up here. I'm not selling this thing. No way. If NQ wants to push higher, it's gonna just take Dow way up there. But yeah, here are my thoughts on that and like when to know when to trade or not. Like it comes down to your intention. You know, are you looking for something in the markets when there's low volume anyways? Like, is there a point? If you're looking for setups, if you're looking to trade. Now, there might be investment opportunities. Like, you might see the markets crash on there. There's always some peculiar activity occurring during, Christmas, New Year's, Black Friday, Thanksgiving. Like, something's going on. So if there's investing opportunities, then all right, cool. Like take those. That doesn't really like take too much time. You're like, oh look, Bitcoin's at 85K. All right, let me buy some, or whatever, something like that. That makes sense to me. But like going onto the screens, getting away from your the food, the family, the good times, just to like be sitting here for 4 hours or something, it's just not really worth it, especially if there's low volume anyways. Like this, you're just not going to get anything. But yeah, that's the beauty, right, about trading, is you get to choose when you do, when you don't. Also important to know what season you're in overall in your journey. So yeah, just keep those things in mind. I like it. Like I like to get in the ring with the market, get in the ring with other versions of yourself. Like I like that process. To me, it's a test of willpower, self mastery, and then obviously like just what you know about the charts. But there's times where you don't have to do any of that, So I'd say don't show up because out of necessity, out of scarcity. Nah, that's not really going to be worth it. All right. A little update here. We got NQ pushing even lower, predictable. We have Dow actually would have triggered us into a T. We would have been perfectly lined in there on Dow shorts. Because the setup is perfect, right? The downside of this trade for me was that NQ could have worked its way back up, right? That was the downside for me, which is why I didn't take this trade, is that, okay, if NQ wants to work its way back up and mitigate all of this, if NQ is going to go bullish, then it's going to just take Dow even further, which is still could be the case. Like right now, we're getting our first move, right, our first move down. So a little bit of movement, nice. Do I chase this? Oh no, it's happening. Do I get in now and sell? No. There is other evidence that I have created, that I have tracked for myself, that is saying you don't have to take this. You shouldn't take this. So I'm gonna follow that instead. Obviously, y'all can do whatever you want, but I just have data that gives me a heads up on when things are not gonna go as planned. So like I don't just trade one asset and like I only look at one chart and that's the only thing that matters. For me, I trade asset classes. So I'm aware of what's happening between all the indices. To me, it's like it's one puzzle. And so if one is showing me something that could influence the other, I got to consider that. So for now, staying put here. And meanwhile, NQ just gets more and more confirmation for a short, in my opinion. So, yeah, that doesn't really change. NQ shorts stay active, staying away from Dow for now as well. I'm actually going to delete the one that's up here too. I think I still have this one marked up. Actually, I don't think I set this one. I think it was just... Let me double check. No, I think I did. All right, I'll delete this one for now. Sorry. For now, based on price action, no shorts on Dow. NQ shorts will be my focus. Oil losing a little bit of steam. And then it looks like Euro is actually approaching it a bit more. All right. Well, guys, great session. Obviously, didn't do anything during the session. No trades were taken. But that's what you have to do. It's about decision making. It's about having clarity with your system. And as you guys notice, like with at least how I approach things, sometimes it's really easy, really just the most basic thing ever. And then there's other times where I have to just adapt to what new information the market is providing. So like today, we kind of went back and forth between Dow back and forth between NASDAQ. Which one am I going to take? And at this point, going to just wait it out for NQ. So as we're going and wrapping up this year, I really invite you all to reflect, if you haven't already, on your year. How much did you invest into your trading this year? How much did you not? Did you stay on the sidelines? Were you showing up consistently? Were you not? How do you approach that differently next year? Are you still somehow avoiding your trading journal, even though I don't know how many profitable traders need to tell you that there's so much information right in there for you, that the amount of feedback you can get, the amount of evolution to your system you can get out of there is insane if you just do it. Is that still you? Are you, what did you conquer this year with your trading psychology? What is still defeating you? Get all these things on paper. You got to crack the code. If you want help cracking that code, then book a call with us so we can work together in 2026 and really, really get you guys getting paid out. Get you guys going to the next level. So if you're tired of yourself and you want that hands-on work, you want constant feedback, book a call. Click that link right there. Click it. You're like, I don't know if I should or if I shouldn't. Click it. Book it. It's just so we have a conversation to see if it's the right fit. And then you can just say no. But if you're like, I think I should. I don't know if I can. Oh, what if I can't afford it? Cool. Have a conversation. Find out. So, and we are doing a version in which a portion of this can only get paid out through payouts. That's how much I believe in what we're doing here. All right. So check it out. We're super excited going into 2026. Let's run it up. All right. Oh, man. I was really about to leave, y'all. I'm just saying, I was just about to. But then good old S&P. What you doing, pal? What you doing? Just tapped into this London mitigation zone that I had marked up, which I actually had forgotten about. So NQ cracked Tokyo lows. S&P just played into the London lows. And then now we have Dow kind of filling this little imbalance. So what do I think is going to happen here? We may end up getting a shakeout out of this. So Tokyo clears this. It might end up playing out of there. S&P, similar situation with these London lows. And then you have Dow, which is the most bullish out of the bunch here. That I think it'll probably come back down one more time to clear into this imbalance. And then you just might get it reacting out of this imbalance and rallying. So keep these things in mind. But with that being said, thank you guys for hanging out. If you're not in our free community that has so many resources, check that out. And then again, make some changes in your trading for good. Scan that code on the right. Schedule a call. But tomorrow, we will be live here again. So take care, y'all. Peace.